Hi guys, so my name is Jacqueline Ramirez. This is the 7th grade social science lesson plan that my partner and I worked on. Here, it's just the information that we had and as educators, what we planned on teaching our students. This is our class demographic layout. So we have, the demographic breakdown, familiar structure, language, social standing, gender, race, ethnicity. We got all of these numbers and statistics based off a middle school in Visalia called Valley Oak Middle School. So that's where you see all those numbers coming from. Going to the actual portion of our lesson plan, our content standard is HSS 7.94. Our learning objective, really quickly, just to refresh you guys, is that scholars will be able to identify European regions that remain Catholic and those that became Protestant by Google image, diagram, or mind map with 2 examples. The level of Bloom's applied is understanding, and our co-teaching model that we used within our group was the co-teaching model. Going on, so the evidence of mastery is students will have created a mind map, Google image, or diagram to show evidence of mastery. And then here's a little bit more information on the materials, equipment, vocabulary. Here are some strategies. For materials, we decided that we would need computers, papers, crayons, pencils, pens, textbooks, timers, group organization, and maps. So I think something besides the 5 E's that I had fun working on was just the fact that the time of our lesson plan was completely up to us to decide. It was really nice to not have a time limit. So we had a lot of fun with that. We decided that overall our lesson plan would take approximately a whole school week, 5 days, just because at this point we're teaching middle school level. So at least in California, we have periods. We don't work with one set of students throughout the day. We have rotational periods. So each period normally takes 35, 45 minutes around there. So that's how we broke down our time and why we decided we would need a whole week to go through our E's. And then for me personally, one of the most important ones, which all of the E's are important in their own aspect, they all contribute to the overall learning and mastery of the lesson plan for students. But for me, I think that it's kind of like first impressions is how I took this too with engagement. I think engagement is one of the most important because it's like first impression. So you want to make sure that the information that you're presenting the students has a really good impression for them and is very impactful because you want to make sure that you retain the attention of your students because we're going to be working on this information throughout the week. So we want to make sure that the way that we present the information is very interesting, that it's very easy to understand, that we're presenting the information in a very impactful way for the students. So that's why I really wanted to make sure that the engagement portion of our lesson plan was really fun and easy to learn. And for a lot of students, this would be the first time hearing some of the information that we would be talking about. So that's also another factor into why I thought it was important. Going on, another reason that I also had a lot of fun making engagement was because I felt I had so many options, like the world was open to me. There was so many ways, so many methods, tools that I could have used to approach engagement, and so many ways that I could kind of be, presenting the students with first time this information. So if you could tell, our lesson plan is we try to keep it very organized, very easy for us to learn. So Miss Maya has the color red. Whenever I talk, I have the color purple. We have our time breakdowns highlighted here, just makes it easier for us. And then throughout this portion of our E, we also try to incorporate a lot of attention grabbers. If you could see right here, Miss Maya says, "Okay, class, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice." And then we also did a lot of, within this E, we did a lot of group presentations and group discussions. We wanted it to be very student-based and student-led. We also presented some videos in here. I feel like for me as a student, I always like seeing visuals. So we wanted to make sure that we were presenting students with different ways to retain the information that they were being presented. So we had videos, we had group discussions, we had them working within teams. We had allowed time to ask questions, added some fun facts, just making it very like easy but impactful information for the students to learn. And then that's just how we kind of color coordinated throughout our presentation, or I'm sorry, our lesson plan. Here are some external online sources. We added some pictures of what we would like the products to look like. One of the hardest ones that we kind of like had a hard time making or deciding is the closing synthesized sentence. So this was kind of what gave us a hard time. But other than that, I had a lot of fun creating the 5E, specifically engagement. Really quickly, I want to go over a little bit of what was graded on our lesson. So we got a lot of really good scores. A lot of people did say that we met a lot of the content standards for each of the criterias here. But some points that I wanted to bring up was, I know someone had mentioned that they felt that our lesson didn't really run smoothly because we had a lot of issues with, oh, here it is. It was a little bit awkward because we were waiting for the next slide to play. So I know for the Google Slides that we presented in class when we were presenting our lesson plan, we had multiple videos on there. Whenever I would try to hit the next slide, it would play the video instead of going to the next slide. So that would be something that I would want to work on and watch out for future references. Another thing I wanted to add was someone else had also mentioned, I can't find their comment, but that they felt that the informational video that we added was a little bit more, that they don't feel like they retain any information from it. They felt that it was more lecture based. I try to add like timelines and different like pictures, but taking that into consideration, I would maybe add a little bit more pictures, maybe less information, or go more in depth with some of the facts that I had provided in that video, the informational video. Other than that, a lot of these comments were very nice, excellent work. I'm really happy that everyone, for the most part, had fun with our lesson plan and retained a lot of the information. So that's a little bit on some of the feedback that we got for our lesson plan. Thank you for hearing, and thank you all for these very nice comments as well. Thank you.